Guitar 1 is going to be the main acoustic guitar that serves the song well by laying down a nice, steady eighth note rhythm pattern that's played exactly the same in both the intro and the verses every time that those sections appear in the song. The way this song is laid out, there are several different parts that happen, but in each of them, the rhythm pattern remains pretty consistent, so you shouldn't have any problem pulling this off. We'll go through the rhythm pattern as well as the chords we need to play each section, starting with the intro and verse sections. But before we do, let's check out the intro part that will also serve as the verse part because again, they're played exactly the same with the backing track. The rhythm pattern for this song is a great one to learn because for one, it isn't very hard to play regardless of your level of playing. And two, it's a very common one that's found in most modern country music, as well as being the go-to type of strumming pattern from groups like the Eagles or Creedence Clearwater Revival. So once you've learned it, you can really get a lot of mileage out of it, particularly as you're learning new songs throughout the Song Vault. We'll go through the pattern in just a moment, but before we get started, let's take a look at the two chords that we need to learn for the song in order to accommodate the intro and the verse sections. First up, we've got a G major chord. And finally, we have a C over G slash chord. Now for this version of G, we're going to be fretting it a little different than we normally would. Instead of going with the traditional fingering like so, we need to free up that index finger in order to accommodate playing that C over G slash chord. So the way we're going to play this is just remove our index finger. So it would ordinarily look like this, but we're going to go like this. So we've got ring finger on the 3rd fret at our 6th string, and we've got our middle finger at the 2nd fret B note of our 5th string, and finally we've got our pinky on the 3rd fret G note on the 1st string. But watch how it sets up that C over G. All right, in order to grab our C over G slash chord, we'll simply fret the 1st fret of our B string with our index finger for that C note. And we'll move our middle finger from that B note, okay, over to the 2nd fret of our D string to pick up an E note. All right, we're going to mute that A string in the process with our right here. So we're going to go. So you're not going to hear that right there. Okay. So here are the voicings that you'll be playing. All right, you put that to a strumming pattern. You can already hear the tune starting to take shape. That's the only two chords that we need every time the intro and the verses are played, so not too much to learn here. Now, let's take a look at the rhythm part that we'll be playing over these chords. The main pattern sounds like this. So it's just an 8th note pattern with accents that we'll use to bring it to life, particularly on beat 2 of the 1st bar and on the upbeats of 4 and 1, so they'll be like this. So if I mute it, you're going to hear. All right, you just want to accent it to kind of bring it to life. All right, so now that we know the pattern, let's pair it up with the chords that we need. The main thing to keep in mind here is that on the upbeat of 4, we push to that C over G chord. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So, and we stay there for the rest of the pattern. So we've got this. 1, 2, ready, begin. Up to speed. 1, 2, ready, go. All right. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now let me run through this pattern a couple times so you can get a better idea of what this needs to sound like through both the intro and the verses. 1, 2, ready, begin. That should give you a little bit better idea of what it needs to sound like. For our intro, we've got an 8-bar section that we need to play, and then we're into the verse. The verse, however, is twice as long, coming in at 16 bars. So altogether, we've got 24 bars that we'll need to play this pattern over, at which point we get to the pre-chorus. That being said, I'll play through the intro and the verse for you so you can get a better feel for it, all right? And if you want to play along, have at it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That does it for both our intro and our verse section. Next up, we'll learn the pre-chorus that gets us in to the chorus.